medicine is extremely powerful. Now we wouldn't see the poor doctor fighting with the plague. Medicine can, we call it play God. We can, the principle of CRISPR gene, we can modify genetic information and we can use it for medicine. And it's extremely important to teach students the ethical aspects of their decisions as physicians and the possible positive and negative consequences of that. So for 6 years, you are not only taught anatomy, internal medicine, pediatrics, but also possible ethical consequences in general and tied to specific topics. And also we teach public health and medical law, including population health, because modern medicine is dealing with issues such as poverty in developing countries. And the problems, on one hand, we had extremely rich countries such as Israel and the Czech Republic. We are transplanting uterus. We are performing in vitro fertilization to women who cannot get pregnant. On the other hand, we have countries in the world where children can't have enough clean water and are not vaccinated against diseases. So this is something that you also have to understand. Let's be quicker because I promised to speak only 20 minutes. So this is just the illustration of how we teach in the first year. I describe it. In the second year, finally, you'll get your bone. Okay, but we are teaching again. We are integrating. So it's not only a bone or a corpse with dead lungs that you are looking at, because at the same week that anatomy is teaching you how a heart looks like, the physiologic teachers teach you how does the heart work. So at the same time, you are exposed to the structural anatomy and functional view of medicine. Czech language, oh my God, I'll have to speak this complicated language. Well, not really. Most of our graduates, I don't know how it is in Brno, but most of our graduates are not really fluent speakers in Czech. Fortunately enough, our patients speak different languages, and naturally our teachers can help you quite a lot. Let's proceed to the second cycle, that's years 3 and 4, where again, now when you have been taught how do organs or how do functions work when in health, we have to teach you how does it look in diseases. So we teach you pathology together with pathologic physiology. So how does the heart look when there is an infarction, and at the same time, what are the functional aspects of the infarction? We teach together, integrate subjects as microbiology and infectious diseases. Hi, do you know what microbiology is? Yeah, it describes the bugs, bacteria and viruses, and at the same time you are exposed to patients suffering of the diseases caused by it's not just to show off, it's to help you remember the facts, because it's much better to study things when you know why are you studying them and what are you going to use them for. And then you can see the flags there. We've got a very rich international community. Our students are from more than 35 countries. However, the largest intake this year has been from Israel. We have 30 students in the first year and 80 altogether, which is quite a lot because we are trying not to have more than 20 students from one country, so that there is not an overwhelming number from one. In the last 2 years, it's more about clinical medicine and studying the specialties as you know them from visiting hospitals. And then there's graduation ceremony in that hall that I shown you at the very beginning, solemn oath, and the doctor can go back to Israel and work here. I already mentioned the importance of ethics. It's not only general ethics, but for instance, when we are teaching gynecology and obstetrics, we focus on beginning of life. When we are teaching the theoretical subjects, we are speaking about research ethics. And the gate here is a very sad reminder of a part of European history. Twice a year we take our students to Auschwitz, to Poland, for a topical visit that's called Medical Crimes of the Holocaust. Because sometimes we as physicians see ourselves as the greatest and as the guarantors of ethics, and just by graduating from a medical school, I'm a demigod, and we want to see them that those monsters that were on the Auschwitz ramp with medical degrees and nursing degrees were no monsters that you would recognize in the streets. They were graduates of the best universities in Germany, and so it's not enough just to study medicine. It's very important to pay attention to ethical aspects, to being able to have some empathy with patients. Actually, you are free to visit any country in the world for a clinical placement, developing, and there is some basic financial support from the university for this so-called free mover program. We are proud of our system to support students. It's not easy to become a medical student, although you are in your own country. The studies are tough. It takes time to get used to them, and it's even tougher if it's a country that has much worse weather than you have here. There's no sun, it's raining, it's cold, okay? You don't understand the language, you don't understand the people, and so on. You don't know how to get from point A to point B. So we have a very robust system of tutors. Every group of students, which is around 12 students, has one teacher as a tutor and one student who is 1 year above as a co-tutor. We have a very special thing which is around the clock, 24/7, 365 days a year, SOS helpline. So any student can call me or my associates when in trouble. Usually it's about health issues, social issues, visa issues, or discipline issues. Ofek? Do you drink alcohol?
Yes.
You don't have to answer it. You're his father? No. Have you ever been drunk? You don't have to answer this question.
Yes.
Yeah. So I have phone calls in the middle of the night to interpret for policemen who have dealt with one of our students. But it's not, most of it is much more important. We have a special contract with 2 psychiatrists and 2 clinical psychologists who work at the faculty. We call it mental health counseling point, so it works 5 days a week. And naturally, we are a medical school, so we provide healthcare to our students. There's a designated GP for students. That's my group. I spoke about the tutoring and co-tutoring, so it's one of the groups. But we don't only help students; students help us. We have a very strong student union, TriMed, 3 Medicine, where Czech and English-speaking students work together. They organize the retreat at the beginning of the year, or our freshers go out and they live in huts for 3 days, and they get to know each other. Last week we call it Dean's Sports Day. That's a day where students are expected to participate in sports, and we are very proud that and this is all organized at our faculty by the English-speaking students, and there is a traditional Quidditch match. Do you play Quidditch?
What is Quidditch?
Quidditch. That's a game from Harry Potter. So you have to fly a broom. Yeah. So that's one of the selections. But let's be more serious. Our students, we teach them that being a physician is not only about knowing the doses of drugs and how to diagnose myocardial infarction. That's the base. But a physician plays a very strong social role in his community, in his country, in his university. So we are supporting some projects that have been launched and are performed by our students. They take care, long-term care of children who have been abused together with appropriate institutions. They teach at schools, secondary and primary schools, first aid. They make money for charity. Our students are part of the network, which is also based in Brno and is called Medics on the Streets, where the medical students go out and they provide healthcare to homeless people. Our students have launched infirmary at the Prague main railway station, where they were taking care of Ukrainian refugees passing the country. 3 times a year, a group of our students, together with a clinical teacher, go to Africa, to Kenya, where they work in a charity hospital, and they coordinate. We call it Kids University, where children from grade schools, but also students from high schools come to the medical school, and they look how this is our contract with Shiba here as well. So we cooperate with Shiba, and the kids are coming to our faculty to see what does it mean studying medicine. Just a few pictures to end with. This is the initial course, where our students are divided into groups. They know each other by the color of their t-shirts. This is a special welcome party where you see the bone. Actually, they see the bone in the first year. This is the annual ball. This is from Africa. This is the Kids University. This is also the initial. This was a collection of medications. Our students themselves have launched a collection of medication and equipment for Ukraine. And over one weekend, they managed to collect 2 million crowns, which is, I don't know how many, just 300,000 shekels. And they sent trucks to Ukraine. All these boxes. This was the infirmary at the main railway station. These are patients from Ukraine, and I hope that I gave you sufficient information about studying at our medical school. However, don't trust us. Never trust anyone who is 30 plus. Contact your friends and your peers who have been studying in Brno, in Prague, in Hradec Králové, and they will share you their experience, and only then you can make a professional decision, because me, as well as my esteemed colleagues, are paid to tell you we are the best, naturally, but you will make the decision based on different instigators. Thank you for your attention. Thanks.